Coming up on This Week in Torrance.
Local libraries are now offering technology training on the go.
And Torrance firefighters respond to an unusual call. We have the details.
Plus, construction is underway for a new boutique hotel. We'll show you the latest.
And a new ice cream store known for its unique flavors is opening in Torrance soon. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Abby Grimion, filling in for Ben McCain. Thanks so much for watching. Here are your top stories.
City Council hosted its second budget hearing this week. There were 5 budget modifications that were unanimously approved by council members, and a balanced 2-year operating budget was also adopted. The changes included an added position to the city attorney's office, adding a swim class to the plunge, and more additions to the farmers market, to name a few. Council also got a more clear explanation of the city's reserve. In the presentation from the first budget hearing, staff says the city has implemented tiered pension benefits for new employees in order to alleviate current and future pension costs. The city is currently saving more than $2.7 million annually, and those savings will increase with each passing year.
Also, during the City Council meeting, members moved forward in making sure buildings across the city will be more fit if an earthquake hits. City Council approved the recommendation unanimously for the Community Development Department to begin immediately and proactive public outreach to educate property owners regarding the life and safety risks with their building type. The department will also return to council with a Torrance building seismic retrofit ordinance and propose it in 60 to 120 days. Staff discussed 5 main types of buildings that are in high-risk earthquake areas, specifically homes not bolted to their foundations. These were built after the late 1940s. Council members discussed funding for the project and whether it was feasible. The biggest task will be for staff to identify each of the buildings that are at risk.
Well, millions were approved in funding transportation projects in Los Angeles County. The California Transportation Commission approved more than $703 million, with part of the funds supporting the Green Line light rail extension to Torrance. The announcement was part of the Commission's transportation funding allocations for agencies statewide. SB 1 is the state's gas tax and car fee transportation funding program. Los Angeles County has 7 of the state's 10 most congested highway corridors.
2 Torrance police officers are honored for saving a life. Officers Eric Bernier and Stephen Kim were recognized during the recent City Council meeting with the Lifesaving Award. On June 15, 2017, they helped revive a man in an alley after they found him unresponsive. The person had signs of a drug overdose, and both officers began CPR. Soon after, the person started breathing again. Their heroic actions saved the life of the citizen that day. The 2 will also be honored at the upcoming South Bay Medal of Valor ceremony.
The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors approved a $402 million spending plan to fight homelessness. The 5-member board approved unanimously the second-year budget of Measure H. Voters approved a quarter-cent sales tax that would provide services and programs to combat the homeless crisis across Los Angeles County. From July 2017 to March 2018, the county moved more than 10,000 people into crisis, bridge, and interim housing. Few aspects of the spending plan include $120 million for shelters and temporary housing, $30 million for outreach, and $17 million towards prevention, just to name a few. The City of Torrance has its own social services commission that addresses the homeless population. The city also took part in the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority homeless count recently. The numbers are expected to be released by end of the month.
A local organization is being recognized at the state capitol. Assemblyman Al Marisucci named the Torrance Sister City Association as part of the Nonprofit of the Year. They are honored for their leadership and service to the community. They will be officially recognized at the state capitol for the inaugural California Nonprofits Day on June 6th. The association is among other nonprofits from across the state that will be honored. There will be an awards luncheon hosted by the California Association of Nonprofits. The board chair of the Torrance Sister City Association will fly out to Sacramento to accept the award. The Torrance Sister City Association has been promoting a strong relationship between the City of Torrance and Kashiwa, Japan since 1973. They pride themselves with the cultural exchange and the student exchange programs.
A vendor at the Torrance Certified Farmers Market is supporting a campaign to push for more local grown grains in our food. For another year, Lodge Bread is on board with the California Grain Campaign and promoting it along with the Torrance Farmers Market. The push is to educate communities about the many benefits associated with California-grown whole grains in our diet, and that anyone selling grain-based products in participating markets should use at least 20% California whole grains. The goal of the campaign is to incorporate this state law by 2020. This would include all foods made with flour. The California campaign kicked off 2 years ago and was inspired by the green market grains that requires New York farmers market vendors to use 15% local grain. For more details on the campaign, go to californiagrains.com.
Local firefighters received an unusual call recently, with the Torrance firefighters responding to all kinds of emergency situations. One morning, Engine 96 went out to save the life of a duck. This duck was stuck in the chimney, and since animal control is not staffed on Sundays, fire responded to assist the homeowner and the duck. They were able to successfully remove the duck from the chimney and return the duck to its friends and family in the backyard. According to the resident, there were apparently 12 to 15 other ducks in the backyard.
A biannual city tradition is returning in June. Mark your calendars for Torrance's City Yard open house that's set to begin at 10 a.m. There will be demonstrations and displays of city vehicles and equipment. For car enthusiasts, there will be classic and custom cars on display. Some other exciting parts of the day will be the Environmental Fair and Disaster Preparedness Expo. And once again, there will be food trucks on site. The event is free. Our Torrance CitiCABLE team will be on site to meet with the community. Well, still ahead, Torrance libraries now have Chromebooks on the go.
Plus, hundreds of women from the South Bay come together to inspire one another.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
If you're looking to become more tech savvy, Torrance libraries have the new tools to help you.
1, 2, 3.
City officials and library staff were at the Henderson Library to officially kick off its portable online resource and technology access lab project called Portal. It consists of 2 mobile technology training carts, each containing 12 Chromebooks, a mobile printer, and all the accessories required to set up a technology training lab anywhere with wireless internet. The grant funded by California State Library will allow library staff to offer technology training at not only Henderson Library, but at all 6 library branches in Torrance.
We can bring a variety of types of training led by professionals, experts, library staff, and everyone can use a Chromebook to hands-on learn and practice right here in the library.
Hillary Thayer says the lab is filling a need in the community. The public requested help in learning how to use library resources online and also learn to be more tech savvy. Some of the programs will include coding for kids, assisting in job applications, and how to create a YouTube channel. The Chromebooks include multiple USB ports and a web camera. Thayer also says the project is adaptable and everything can be done using a Chromebook. The idea for the lab started after high-speed wireless was installed nearly 2 years ago, and libraries were given the ability to connect. The Friends of the Torrance Library also helped with funding.
Torrance police officers put their helmets on and laced up their sneakers to remember fallen officers across the country. For another year, Torrance police rode their bikes across several states for the Police Unity Tour. Wearing Unity Tour jerseys, black shorts, and protective gear, thousands of officers came together to ride from New Jersey to Washington, D.C., riding nearly 300 miles. 10 Torrance police officers participated. The Police Unity Tour was organized in May 1997, raising awareness for police and other law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty. It also raises funds for the National Memorial and Museum. To date, the Unity Tour participants have helped raise a total of $23 million in donations. After the tour, many officers escorted survivors as they arrived for the candlelight vigil in honor of fallen officers. This event also coincides with Police Week. Torrance Police will be hosting their annual Fallen Officers Memorial in the coming week. To date, there have been 4 fallen officers in the City of Torrance.
City employees took part in a national effort to get more cars off the road and more people on bicycles. The first 50 people who rode their bikes to work received a free t-shirt. In front of City Hall, there was a pit stop where refreshments were served. May marks National Bike Month and Bike to Work Day, which promotes the bicycle as a healthy and safe alternative for commuting to work. It originated in 1955 by the League of American Bicyclists. Also on this day, Torrance Transit offered a free ride to commuters, hoping to boost ridership. All passengers who boarded the bus with their bike or even a helmet were able to ride for free.
Community members got a first-hand look at what it's like to be a firefighter. All fire stations in Torrance were open for Fire Service Day. There were fun activities for children and their families to participate in, from checking out fire gear, using real fire hose, barbecue, and the favorite place for many to get a closer look at the fire engines. Throughout the day, more than 2,500 people stopped by. There are 6 fire stations in Torrance.
Hundreds of powerful and like-minded women made their way to Torrance Marriott Redondo Beach. The South Bay Women's Conference is hosted every year by the South Bay Business Women's Association, and there were more than 300 attendees this year. The conference, which is put on by only volunteers, drives service-minded women into a motivational environment of empowerment. The event had shopping, breakout sessions, with this year including keynote speaker Kim Coles, who is a well-known actress and comedian. Others included the president and COO of the Los Angeles Sparks women's basketball team, Christine Simmons. Many of the vendors in attendance say they come back every year.
This is the best conference around. I've been doing this show for a few years now, and I make so many connections that it just furthers my business throughout the year. It's really a show you don't want to miss.
The conference itself is important because it's mostly about scholarships. So we're giving away money. This year we're giving away $17,500 to 7 recipients of young women. It's broken down between college and high school.
Also during the event, Ann Cates was recognized as Volunteer of the Year. The South Bay Business Women's Association is a local nonprofit organization serving the South Bay. The conference was created more than 5 years ago right here in Torrance. The association hosts a monthly mixer on the 4th Tuesday of every month.
Superintendents from 7 South Bay school districts came together to celebrate their commitment to South Bay students.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
El Camino College and Superintendent and President Dr. Dina Maloney, along with superintendents from the school districts served by the El Camino Community College District South Bay Promise Program, came together in a formal ceremony to sign a new Memorandum of Understanding. The keynote speaker at the event was State Senator Ben Allen, who is the chair of the Senate Education Committee. The South Bay Promise Program waives enrollment fees for the first year of college and provides additional support to ensure success for recent high school graduates in the El Camino College District. The initiative creates an opportunity to expand and access higher education. South Bay Promise students are provided financial, social, and academic support to ensure their educational goals are met. One of the top hopes is to make sure students transfer and graduate in 2 years rather than 6 years, which is the current average.
This program connected me to the First Year Experience program, also known as FYE, where the counselors helped me plan for my educational goals. They set the roadmap for me to finish El Camino in 2 years. The South Bay Promise also allowed me to receive priority registration for classes, which made it easier for me to take the classes that I needed and wanted to be able to graduate on time.
Senator Ben Allen says that the state governor has increased educational budget for the coming year. Allen also added that students graduating from California community colleges nearly double their earnings in 3 years.
We all know as well that there's a great deal of sweetness that comes with education, and it's everything from setting young people on a lifelong career, lifelong friendships, honing our worldview, better understanding our place in the world. We all know the positive impact that an education can make on one's life, and that goes in, there's so many ways that this can be quantified. One of them, of course, is economic. We all know that The data shows that Californians who earn a college degree will earn $400,000 more in their lifetime than their peers with only a high school diploma.
The South Bay Promise is currently funded by the El Camino Community College Foundation and the South Bay Community Partners.
A brand specializing in makeup and accessories is now open in Torrance. Del Amo Fashion Center is adding one more store to the list. Morphe offers makeup tools and accessories from brushes, brush sets, eyeshadow palettes, and more. The brand was created in 2008 in Los Angeles. While it started with professional yet affordable brushes, they expanded to a wide array of other products. They have cruelty-free, natural, and synthetic hair bristles. It's located between Nordstrom and Adidas.
Just in time for summer, you'll find the latest trend in cold desserts in Torrance. The Nitrogen Ice Cream Shop Cauldron is opening its doors at 21605 Southwestern Avenue this summer. That's near the corner of Carson Street, where the popular Japanese market Mitsuya is located. The Orange County-based Nitrogen ice cream store has gone viral and is known for its OG Puffle Cone, featuring unique flavors like Earl Grey, lavender, milk and cereal, and Vietnamese coffee. The technology used to make the ice cream creates an ultra-creamy texture. The upcoming Torrance store is partnered with Friends Mart, who has branded Five Guys Burgers, Halal Guys, and Cadoba Mexican Grill.
Well, a new upcoming hotel that is under construction is being considered the first of its kind in Torrance. Reporter Louis Tran tells us more.
Be more of like the backyard, but kind of like...
Nir Chinani is a Torrance native and helps run a family real estate business where they manage multiple hotels. Chinani attended Cornell University and studied hotel hospitality. This will later develop her passion for the business.
I was like, this is it. This is my career.
For the past 21 years, Chinani's family has owned and managed the previous Travelodge Hotel located on Sepulveda Boulevard. While the family planned to renovate the hotel, Chinani had a much bigger idea in mind. She wanted to rebrand their business and create the city's first boutique hotel, Bluestem.
You kind of want to do it somewhere where you feel passionate about, and I think there's nowhere better than your own hometown.
It's not going to be like any other hotel that's anywhere in the area.
The 5 new executive rooms.
Chinani recognized the industry was changing and customers were looking for an authentic and local experience. Over the years, she saw the growth of Torrance and the opportunity to grow with her hometown.
The city is clearly growing rapidly, and it's exciting.
Chinani plans to include local beers, food, and artwork within the hotel to bring the Torrance culture to her customers, but also in hopes to support the community that has done so much for her.
I can start something in this city, which is already becoming like a cool city slowly, and help be part of that community that evolves it and takes it to the next level.
Well, I think it shows the surrounding businesses that you can be a vital part of the community.
The focal point of this hotel will be on the lobby and the courtyard. In the lobby, there will be a coffee bar, local art on the wall. Outside, there will be plants, trees, a green wall, where they'll also host yoga sessions.
Well, I just can't wait to see it happen. I've been working on this for 3 years.
The new boutique hotel is named after the California bluestem grass for its hardiness and adaptive character.
You're thinking, I'm entering this.
Chinani believes this reflects the community. She hopes her customers can feel the city's culture in each of its 58 rooms.
I want people to actually feel something in that transformation, not just another hotel, but it's like the Torrance Hotel.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Louis Tran.
Thanks, Louis. Chinani anticipates that the Bluestem Hotel will open to the public this summer.
The Torrance Fire Department is hosting classes that can help you save a life. Officials are inviting the public to participate in the department's hands-on only CPR training offered the first week of June at various locations throughout the city. In partnership with the American Heart Association, the mission is to increase survival rate from a cardiac arrest. There are 7 sidewalk CPR trainings taking place, including ones at Costco, Torrance City Yard Open House, Torrance Beach and Farmers Market, to name a few. 70% of cardiac arrests happen in homes, and a bystander CPR can double or even triple a patient's chance of survival. Go to Torrance Fire Department's Facebook page to get the full list of locations.
Well, still ahead, coming up, upcoming events you won't want to miss.
Plus, we'll have the latest that's happening in the sports world. We'll be back in just a minute.
Palm trees, coastline, craft brews. Yep, this is Southern California. But this is Torrance. Have you ever driven to a whole other city just for a bowl of ramen? Because if you haven't, that's about to change. Have you ever been to a beach that feels so much like your own private beach that you're like, where has this been all my life? Welcome, my friends, to Torrance Beach. So private, you hadn't even heard of it. Have you ever been to a mall that had literally 2.7 million square feet of shopping? Run, don't walk to Del Amo Fashion Center. And get this, Torrance is the actual epicenter of the South Bay's craft brew industry. I guess you could say the brews are just craftier here. We also have a farmer's market that's just as much about the people as it is about the food. And even our museum scene is the best of the South Bay. All this just 15 minutes from LAX. You'll come for the city, stay for the experience, and leave as a friend. So, are you in?
Welcome back. Here's some upcoming events. El Camino College will be hosting a jazz band concert on Wednesday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. Tickets are just $10, and the Jazz Ensemble will present a night of big band music with cultural influences from various parts of Latin America. Then the Torrance Antique Street Fair is back again from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in downtown Torrance on May 27th. There will be more than 200 vendors and live music. Admission is free. Plus, on Monday, May 28th, in honor of Memorial Day, the Torrance Historical Society will conduct a memorial service honoring all the names of service members on the Veterans Wall located at Torrance Boulevard and Maple Avenue. 146 names of veterans will be read. Now let's find out what's happening in the Torrance sports world.
What's going on, AJ?
Hi, Jen and Abby. Here's what you'll see on this week's edition of the Sports Desk. Regular season has come to an end in high school baseball and softball, which means, you guessed it, Pioneer League titles were clinched, and our local teams were the ones doing the clinching. Plus, the El Camino College softball team needed a third and final playoff game to decide who goes to the state championship. And as promised, we'll take you inside a moving speech given by a member of the Torrance Special Needs Program. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll have these stories and so much more. Remember to watch the Sports Desk right here, 4 and 9:30 p.m. on Torrance CitiCABLE. Jen and Abby, back to you.
Thanks so much, AJ. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Abby Grimion. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.